Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, New York GA True Crime Files. I am your host Monique, and y'all, it was hot on these YouTube streets. Literally, it was hot here in Georgia today. But in that Fulton County Court House, it was even hotter. Let's talk about it. These are our new topics. So y'all, if you don't know, Ericka King, not King, but King, she took the deal today, y'all. What deal? She is going to get 10 years probation. Okay, no jail time. And she is going to testify and hand over all the goods as it relates to her co-defendant, Ernest Williams. And who's Ernest Williams? He is the husband of Shirley Strawberry, who is the co-host of the Steve Harvey Morning Show. He's been incarcerated for well over a year and a half on a plethora. And if you know me, you know I love that word plethora. He has been incarcerated on a plethora of allegations. They're all allegations, but we don't have to say allegations as it relates to Mrs. Ericka King, aka Erica Hughley, aka April Holloway, aka, you know what I mean? She has pled guilty. She said, Your Honor, I'm guilty of all of the charges. And for that, she gets 10 years probation. And basically, she was caught first interviewed by, of course, a YouTuber. Okay. And she was interviewed after her court. And basically, she was talking about, wanting and so ready to get that ankle monitor off, that bracelet, that jewelry, so she can go and get her a pedicure. Yes, sir. And so she can soak those feet. And yes, I said feet. I know feet is plural, but depending on where you are, you might put an S at the end and say feet. So that's what she is going to do, and that's what she's looking forward to doing. And she's going to have to, ante up whatever information that she has. But as it relates to being on probation for 10 years, that's a long time. And sis, I'm just going to give you some advice. Walmart, aka Wally World, I've been hearing that people are literally going to jail for mis-scanning certain things. Okay. So what I'm going to recommend to you to do is don't go to self-checkout in any store for 10 years. Okay, make sure there's a cashier there, and if you don't see a cashier, go to customer service and wait until there's a cashier, because you don't want to give any legal rights. Don't even drive with your phone in a car for them to pull you over and to have you clank and to have to do that time. Okay, sis? So that's my word to the wise. If you want to take that advice, but I'm just saying, do not go to any self-checkout lane. But you know what? Today was interesting. The real April Holloway, who's an attorney, she stood up and gave her victim impact statement. And I was there for it. And I was like, yeah, April, she stole your identity. She's an attorney. And this woman had to go to the Georgia State Bar and plead her case and be like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. That ain't me. I didn't do it. You know what I mean? So can you imagine if this case didn't go the way it did? She says she's a sole proprietor. She has her own solo business, and this really affected her. And yes, you still should be checking your credit report, because ain't no telling how, whatever. And it seemed like Pam, the law intellect, did ask her, like, where did you, get, this information from, like April's name? And it sounded to me like she was gearing toward, saying it was Ernest. But, she's pled guilty. So, but Ericka, come on, Ericka, you ain't had nothing to do with this. Ericka, they know you over there at Smyrna Way Forward. Because according to what I was able to find out some months back, okay, Ericka, they said you was his assistant. That's what he called you. So I don't know if he was the opener and you was the closer. But according to what they said over there, in the woot, we're wooting. He was looking dapper in his blue, duds today, looking good, bruh. But he was looking good, and I'm just saying, y'all gotta have to bring it. If this case really truly goes to trial, y'all are going to have to bring it, because it's really looking kind of like a circus with this YSL trial that's going on over there. Like, people are not really taking Fulton County really seriously as they should be, because of just the chaos and the all the shenanigans that's going on over there. And then we just have this other Douglas County judge, brought to Fulton County, was at the club in Buckhead. It's a mess. It's a mess. But all the bloggers are definitely here for it, okay? So, you give us content and we'll just, turn it into a video or something. But I think the beauty of this whole case is, shout out to all of the bloggers, okay? Because if not for the bloggers, you got now all of a sudden this case has taken legs and it has made the New York Post. You got Ashley over there. Shout out to Ashley. She's there with WSB TV. She's on the case. More cameras in the courtroom, like, getting in Dennis's way. But before that, it was just, some bloggers were covering the story, and then it picked up momentum. So we got bloggers big and small, and everybody's reporting on this case in their own unique way. And I think it's really cool. You know what I mean? It shows everybody's creativity. You got people acting out text messages. It's crazy. Y'all, I was like, yo, this would be crazy. But I thought of something. I was like, that would be so dope. Do they still say that, y'all? Because I'm old school. I'm still using the word dope. That would be so dope. But that would be hilarious and dope. Okay? Y'all busy trying to figure out who gonna... Anyway, y'all, she's taking the deal. She should not go to self-checkout. But Ericka, they know you up over there at Wade Ford in Smyrna. They really, really, really do. They basically, from what I heard, they said, they knew you and Ernesto. Y'all were coming in with y'all nice cars and things. I'm sure when you've turned over every leaf and gone near the Wade Ford in Smyrna, and checked with them. But they said there seemed to appear, the three things I remember was that they were saying that, Ernesto would never really give his driver's license. And your driver's license kind of connects the transaction to you. And they kept asking, and he said he would either bring it back or, he forgot, or his, whatever, his assistant will get that to him, whatever. But they claim they never really got those things, and if they did get it, I don't know about it. But they also mentioned something to the fact that they got stuck with a over $7,000 bill, because when it came time to pay the taxes, they paid that stuff up front. They could never get in contact with you, y'all, or the secretary or the assistant. Ericka, they know you in Smyrna. Didn't you live in Smyrna? They know you. So you trying to say he put you up to it? Girl, bye. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, they said they had a bill that they just had to eat for well over $7,000. I think it was tax, title, and whatever else. They could never seem to get in contact with NESTO, ERNESTO, or you either, Ericka King, aka April Holloway, aka Ericka Hughley, aka Ericka Rothschild. Who told you to use Rothschild? Well, you reading the book one day. That's what I wanted to know. Pam, if you ever get a chance to interview her, ask her who told her to put Rothschild as an alias on her, on her situations that she was dealing with, her dealings. That's comical, Ericka Rothschild. Got no black people in the Rothschilds. You know that. But anyway, y'all, let me know what you think about this case. This is going to be a trial, and a lot of people are going to follow this. So, Ernest, y'all putting in, petitions to, so nobody he ain't gonna get a fair trial, child. It's in the New York Post. It's everywhere. Some people don't watch the internet, so y'all might be able to find a good jury pool, but I don't think it's gonna work, because we have a right to know what's going on with this case. And I truly believe, y'all, this case is bigger and badder than what we really even know. Is this some sort of syndicate? Was this how they were getting cars and vehicles for? Because when I'm thinking about all the people, everybody had a nice car. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with a nice car, but dang, wasn't Dion? He had the Hellcat, and then they had all. Is this how they was hooking people up in their family and friends and acquaintances with cars? I'm just saying, because it looked to be so. This looked to be how they was able to get vehicles, because I think, what wasn't it, his brother that said he had multiple, Mercedes trucks. He had 5 of them. Then he said he bought his daughter multiple cars and she wrecked them. I mean, where did he get all this money? Or was this how you were able to get you a nice luxury car in the ATL? I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. That's all I'm doing. So y'all, this is the hot news topics. This is New York GA True Crime Files. This is going to be a trial. Yes, it is. Okay. And this is one of the lighter notes, because in true crime, there's some real heavy stories. Not to say this is not a serious story, because it really is. But there's some stories that you can't joke around with. You can't put up a, you got to be sensitive to the issue. And, there's a time and a place for everything. But there's a time, look, it's hot up in here. What's that? It's getting hot. Is that Nelly? I think that's what it was. But it's hot in Georgia, and it was hot in Fulton County courtroom. And the Roots, that's what we're gonna call you. That's what I'm calling you now. Make sure y'all do due diligence, because it is looking a little. I'm giving a side eye in Fulton County, because these are some high profile RICO cases, and it's you do not want to be the laughing stock. So come with it, okay? All right, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this case. I envision Ericka soaking her feet with some Epsom salt and getting her tails, Lord Jesus, getting her toes and her nails did or done, or however they say it. You know what I'm saying? So like, share, subscribe, hit that little bell, and I will see you on the next upload of New York GA True Crime Files. Peace, and I'm out.